If you're sitting at home watching this and thinking to yourself, didn't this already fail the legislature a few years ago? You'd be right in a sense, but the bill in 2015 that failed and this bill are a bit different. The biggest difference being if that bill would have become law, it would have affected the entire lake. Ethan, people who live next to the land that Magruder wants to annex into their quarry are upset and outraged this evening after tonight's 5-1 vote. With just one more day left in 2017, the Sunrise Beach Fire Protection District has made 776 calls. That's up 70 from 2016. And the fire chief says by just adding 3 more full-time staff members, it could help immensely. That man was arrested after the shooting happened here at the Riverview RV Park in Miller County. Now, depending on who you talk to, that shooting either happened late last night or early this morning. Police haven't yet given a time frame on when all of that allegedly went down. Lisa, this new report deals with the findings from the DNR's investigation into the Camdenton sludge dumping site area, which is actually the Camdenton Memorial Airport. The mayor says these findings are reassuring. This started all last Thursday morning when the county assessor brought up the issue to the county commissioners. But the city of Waynesville said they're being dragged through the mud by their own working partners. And that hearing did get heated at times this afternoon. And even though there was a vote to recommend a punishment for Representative Warren Love, he walked out of the hearing without any punishments right now.
Unfortunately, because Representative Love decided to go back on the word that he gave to this committee under oath, there will not be a punishment contained in the report issued by this committee.
This after a nearly 2.5-hour ethics hearing regarding a Facebook post by Representative Warren Love in August. That post was in regard to the vandalization of a Confederate statue at the Springfield National Cemetery. In the post, Love said he hoped the criminal would be, quote, hung from a tall tree with a long rope, end quote. Some referred to it as lynching.
Vandalism is against the law, but so is lynching. It is not appropriate to respond to one crime by hoping that a far worse crime is committed.
But Love says there's a difference.
I did not use the word lynching. And I will ask you, is there a difference dictionary between the word lynching and hanging?
Love says his post was a, quote, colloquial expression, and he didn't mean it literally.
Did you mean to literally go out and get whoever committed the crime, because we don't know who committed it, incite a mob, go out and get them and literally lynch them? Absolutely not.
Per procedural rule, Representative Love said he would accept any punishment the committee decided upon. A motion to censure and remove him from his 3 committees failed 5-5, but then the committee voted to recommend to the Speaker of the House to decide if Love should be reprimanded and removed from his 3 committees. That vote passed 6-4, but Love backtracked, saying he wouldn't accept that punishment. You're saying, had you known that you could have been removed from committees from the get-go?
I would have said no. That's
you were
correct. You got it.
You were given not enough information before you made the decision.
I didn't
to say yes?
understand the process.
If he's unable to look at those rules when it pertains specifically to him, how well is he able to understand the rules when it pertains to legislation that is being passed on other matters?
After Representative Love went back on that, saying he wouldn't accept any of the recommendations from the committee actually voted to send this case to an investigative hearing, but that vote failed 5-5. So again, Representative Love isn't facing any punishment in this case. Reporting live tonight from Jefferson City, I'm Andrew Havranek. Lake Ozark Detective Shane Pierce says his hopes that 2018 will be a great year are high.
I'm just blessed and happy.
Because just over 2 years ago, doctors told him his kidneys were functioning at less than 20%.
Pretty much just waiting for it to completely fail to start dialysis.
After starting dialysis, Shane and his family took to Facebook to try and find a donor.
I knew I would kind of have to market myself just to let everybody know, and hopefully somebody would step up and be a donor.
After seeing the Facebook page, Courtney Powell, who works security at Target and had worked with Shane in the past, had a conversation with her husband about being that potential donor.
It was just all emotional for me. I had, just all of those thoughts going through my head of I would never want my kids to live like that, hoping their dad survives.
Shane says he was in complete shock after learning of Courtney's selflessness.
I knew who she was, but it wasn't like we were like best buddies or anything, so So it was just kind of like, why would somebody do that for somebody they don't really even know?
Shane's surgery was successful, and he will be on anti-rejection meds for the rest of his life. Courtney has faced some complications, but is on the road to a successful recovery. Shane said he felt guilty, but Courtney says she's still happy with her decision.
I would do it again, for sure.
Two acquaintances now with a unique bond who are now working to educate the public on organ donation.
So we have plans trying to figure out how we're going to do that and stuff, but I think that's most important is just getting that awareness.
Reporting from Lake Ozark, I'm Andrew Havranek. Keep the schools open or shut them down after over 100 students fell sick with the norovirus. The shops and restaurants along the Bagnell Dam Strip, just like many others across the Lake of the Ozarks, are quiet this time of year. But after this area has gotten some national attention in a popular TV show, these shop owners are hoping that more tourists are going to be coming here this upcoming summer. It's been a busy afternoon here at the Camden High School gym, but as you can see, it wasn't the basketball team that was on the court. It was actually 36 robotics teams from schools across the state competing for their chance to go to World Championships. So Governor Greitens expected this vote to be 5-3 in favor of firing the state education commissioner, but one of his own appointees to the board joined the opposition against firing Margie Vandevin. Now, Sweet was kicked off this property a few weeks ago on October 19th after an altercation police were called out to. They are not tying that to a motive just yet, but they say they are looking into it. Posted speed limit here on Business Route 5 in Camdenton from the square past the schools is just 30 miles an hour, but police who direct traffic here around the school crossing say these drivers are coming in just a little too fast. The Little Niangua Bridge, built in 1932, a self-anchored suspension bridge, the fourth of its kind at the time, now the last of its kind. That's why the Camden Historical Society wants to try and save it. The party has officially started here at Old Kinderhook in Camdenton, but for many, the festivities really started earlier this afternoon. Now, tomorrow night, you won't be able to drive through the harbor, as a lot of people are still tonight. You will be able to walk through this, however. They just want to make sure that everybody's safe. And if you are walking through this harbor tonight, or tomorrow night, excuse me, be sure to watch out for any Grinches who may try and steal some of your Christmas spirit. Reporting live tonight in Warsaw, I'm Andrew Havranek. So all 60 of these stores will have this candy cane painted on the doors. So now you can pick up your ticket at any of those locations, and you have to turn it in back here at the Bill's Arts Center and Gallery by December 20th. Now, Bill tells me that when you go into these different shops and restaurants to get that ticket, or maybe to get it signed, you do not have to pay anything or buy anything from those shops to get it signed. So really, you're winning some free money to start your Christmas shopping season. Reporting live tonight from Camdenton, I'm Andrew Havranek. The soldiers here at Fort Leonard Wood are experiencing their first holiday away from family. So their sergeants and generals decided to serve them a Thanksgiving dinner. What do you want? Turkey and ham, please. Turkey and ham, got it. The sergeants and generals donned their dress blues, grabbed their carving knives and serving spoons, and plated Thanksgiving dinners to the hundreds of soldiers today at Fort Leonard Wood, a break in the norm for the men and women in basic training.
I mean, we get to socialize, just open up to each other while eating. I've really been able to do so these past 3 weeks.
It actually feels good to talk for once, but it's really good.
Today's menu was probably everything you also had on your dinner table.
So there's roast beef, and there's turkey, of course. There's ham and mashed potatoes and sweet potatoes and stuffing. So it's just like they'd have at home if they were at home with their families.
Speaking of families, these soldiers from all over the nation are missing theirs. So they all had something to say to them back home and express what they're thankful for.
Love and miss them. Wish I could be home right now eating Dad's turkey.
Thankful that I have a beautiful daughter and a beautiful son. For my dad being here, he was a 9/11 first responder. He got sick from it.
I'm very thankful for my wife for sure. She's helped me through a lot.
Thank you for raising me well for the past 19 years of my life. And it's been a ride, and no matter what, I'll always love them.
So from everyone here at Fort Leonard Wood. I'm Andrew Havranek reporting.